What's good, my good people? This is your boy, the Wizard. And man, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, just go ahead and click on that subscription button down there. Show your boy some love. I'm aiming just to get 100 subscribers. Then after 100, move to another 100 all the way until I get to 1,000 subscribers. And the journey won't stop. If you like the video, just click the like button down there, so that my video can get recommended to so many other people. So today I'm going to be teaching you how to get your application, compile your application into a jar file. Then after putting your application into a jar file, then you can upload it, or you can push it to Docker Hub. Okay. Then after pushing it to Docker Hub, then you're going to push it to AWS if you want. Okay, but I'm just going to show you how to push your application into Docker Hub. Okay, guys, I'm using Spring Boot 3 for my back end. I'm also I created a front end application using React, just a simple application where you can send your data from front end to back end. Okay, so as you can see here, I have my front end application over here. This is my folder. So I have my application over here. Okay, so if I click on build, you can see that I have my full application over here. Okay, so basically what is going to happen is that we're going to pick this when we are compiling. We're going to pick this front end, and then we're going to this build here, build, and then we're going to push it, this build here, CSS and JS, and also these files here, and then we're gonna push it into a target folder that is we're gonna create, once we are compiling our application, and it's gonna be around this place over here. Okay, so let's move on to pom.xml. Just move on straight to your pom.xml. Okay, of your file, I mean of your folder. So this is my pom.xml. So if I click, this is pom.xml. Okay, so for you to be able to compile your application, front end, back end, create a jar, and then be able to push your application to Docker Hub, I have already written the code, but I'm going to show you the code, and I'm going to show you what you need to do. Okay, so over here, down here below the build. Okay, so let me just take you through quickly through my pom.xml. So over here we have our parent modules over here. Okay, then after there we have our organization name, which is Thailand 123. Then after there we have the description of our application, which is collecting information. Then we have properties. I'm using Java 17. Okay, then down here we have now our dependencies, which I'm using JPA, Spring Boot, Starter Web, Postgres, Lombok, all these are dependency. And then below here we have the build version here, where we have Maven, Lombok, and I'm gonna talk about this code just later on. Okay, then below now this build project here, below here, this is where now we need to write our first code. And our first code, we're gonna write, I call it code because it's a code. Okay, so we're gonna create profiles. Okay, and inside profiles we're gonna create a profile. Okay, and here we have two profiles. So we have this, actually we have, yeah, we have this profile here, we have this profile here until all the way here. So this is the code that we will talk about. So this is the first code that you need. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you what this code basically does. Okay, good. So we are building front end. Okay, and then inside the build over here we have plugins. So we have plugins over here, and then we have this plugin here. So we have two plugins over here. So we have this plugin, and the first plugin here, this plugin is for front end. Okay, And then we also have the second plugin, which is the jar file that is going to be created. Okay, so I'm going to show you how we're going to I'm going to explain everything here. So the first thing we need to do is write front end Maven plugin. This is where our plugin is coming from, and the version is, this is the latest version. So make sure by the time you're watching this video, it might probably be a different version. So make sure you check that version out. Then we also have the configuration over here. So we're using node version. So make sure you check what node version that you're using for you to be able to write it over here. Okay, so this is going to be our node version over here. Okay, then working directory, if I open up my folder, we have src and then front end. So this is what is written here, src and then front end. That's the directory that we are working with. Directory means probably the folder that we are working with. Okay, then the executions, we have, what is going to happen here is we'll have to install node and npm. Okay, so once we install node and npm, the goal is to install node and npm. Okay, then after that, the configuration will check for the node version, and this node version is the version that actually I also need to change the node version here because I'm using version 18. Okay, so 18.14, that's the node version I'm using, point 2. Okay, then it's gonna check the node version, and also it's gonna check the npm version, which is this one here. Then after this configuration, we're gonna do an execution again. Okay, and it's gonna be npm install, and the goal is to install. Okay, and then there's a configuration here, which is an argument, and it's to install. Okay, so once you make some changes, you need to click on this Maven over here just to make sure the changes apply, because I just changed node version over here. Okay, or what you can do, you can come to pom.xml, right click, go to Maven, and then reload. Okay, then after that, this is the first profile here. This is the first plugin, okay, that you need to have. I'm gonna leave a link down here so that you can click on the link and access these profiles. Okay, so this is the first profile that you need to have. I have explained it. Then the next one, we have this plugin here, and artifact id is Maven resource plugin. You have to just write exactly the way it is. Okay, and then after that, the execution is gonna be copy the build folder, because here we're gonna build a folder. Okay, which is this one here. Okay, so actually I'm gonna click here and delete this folder, so it's gonna build a new folder. Okay, so what we're gonna do is it's gonna build a new folder once we run this first plugin here. So once we run this first plugin, it's gonna build a folder. Okay, then what we're gonna do is we have to copy the folder. Okay, copy build folder, and we're gonna copy it in here. We're gonna have a target folder here where we will take our front end and copy it inside that target folder. Okay, so we have copy resource plugin artifact id, then we have copy build folder. Okay, then after that, just copy exactly what you see here. Then the goal is to copy the resources. Okay, and we're gonna see all these things in action. Okay, then after that, we have this configuration that says where the what is being copied directory. So we copied from src front end build, so it's gonna be src front end, and then the build will be here. Previously, before I deleted, you saw a folder here. That's now where we are copying it from, and then we are copying it to this target folder here. Okay, this target folder here, this one here. Okay, good. So that's what actually the profile is talking about. Okay, so make sure you copy this profile over here. Make sure you copy it. I'm gonna leave a link, and then just change the node version. Okay, just change the node version, okay, and also change the front end Maven plugin. If we have a different version, you can go ahead and change that, okay. Then this one is gonna create is gonna compile front end and back end together, and it's gonna create a jar file, jar. Then once you create this jar file, we need to send it to Docker Hub, okay. So the first thing we have to do is we're gonna come up here inside this build here, because we had this build, I told you, this build here over here. So inside here we have the first plugin, and this is the plugin here, Maven plugin and Lombok. So this is the second plugin that we need to concentrate on, okay. Now this plugin here is what, for us to be able to send our jar file into Docker Hub, push it over there, we're gonna use Jib, okay, because Jib helps us to push our jar file to Docker Hub. So that's why we're using Jib Maven plugin, okay. So if I copy this here, if I copy and then open up Google over here, just go to Google and then type Jib Maven plugin, we're gonna have the first GitHub over here. Click on it, okay, and then down here, let's go check this documentation that is down here, okay. So for you to quick start the application, you can run this code over here, okay. Just go ahead and read that file. Then this dependency here, this not dependency, this plugin here is what Google Cloud Tool, Jeep Maven plugin, and the version is 3.3.2, and then configuration is an image here. So this one here, this plugin here is what we have over here, is what I've copied and I've written over here, okay. That's the plugin. The only thing that I need to change in this plugin is this image here, okay. And if I go back again to my documentation, we have this using Docker Hub registry. So this is the configuration where we are pushing it to, and we are pushing it to docker.io. This my Docker ID is the username of your Docker, is a username of your Docker. So if I come here to the Docker, make sure actually you go ahead and create a sign up. If you don't have Docker Hub, make sure you go and type Google, then go to Docker and sign up, okay. So this here, this is my username here, this one here, this Thailand 123 is what is here, my Docker ID. So this is what you have to write here, and then you need to give your application a name, okay. So if we go back again to our application over here, we have that this is the Docker IO. Now this is the name of my Docker ID, and then this is the Facebook uh dash version 1. This is the name of the image, okay. So you can copy this image over here, you can copy, and then if you want to just quick start, you can copy and then come here and type this image here, paste it over here, okay, and then copy and then quick start your project. But for us, we are using the plugin, so just follow what I'm trying to tell you. So once you have this, once you have this plugin installed, okay, so the next thing we need to do is to go to our terminal, okay, and then I want us to type in our root folder, our root folder, our file, our folder here. This is the root folder here. So I want you to go and type mvn and then clean, okay. So once you type nvn clean, it's gonna clean and it's gonna delete this target folder here, okay. So it's gonna delete it. Then after that, I want you to run this code over here. So this code here, let me go back again to my documentation. So this code here is gonna build to Docker daemon. It's gonna build an image inside our Docker daemon. Okay, so if you take this code over here, this code over here, or this command here, is gonna build to Docker daemon. So what it's gonna do is that it's gonna compile everything into a jar file, then it's gonna push it into Docker daemon here. So make sure you have this up and running. Docker desktop, make sure you have it up and running. Okay, so this is our images here. I only have an image called Postgres that is running because I'm running my database with Postgres. So this is the image here. Okay, so let's go ahead and first do Docker login to log in inside our Docker. So authentication, and then there you go, succeeded to log in. Then after that, we're gonna go ahead and paste this code here. Oh, sorry, paste this code here. So as I say, this is gonna build a jar file. Then after that, it's gonna push an image over here. Okay, then I'm gonna show you how to push it to Docker Hub. Then after that, I just want us to run this. Click on enter, and I want you guys to see what is gonna be happening here. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is that it's gonna create a build here, and then after that it's gonna create a target folder where we will copy our front end and put it over there. So as you can see, it's installing Node. Okay, it's installing Node, creating a product build. It's creating a build. You're gonna see it here in just a minute. So it's creating an optimized product build. So give it a minute. It depends on how fast your computer is. So compiling, there you go. Okay, so what is happening here is that it's compiling things together. Okay, the build folder is already deployed, so I think I'm gonna reload it later on. Okay, so compiled successfully. Okay, it has compiled successfully. uh it copied 207 on and 37 package looking for funding. Yes, and then we have something that I want to show you. Build ready, completed successfully, uh compiled, and then build successfully. So we have build image to Docker daemon. It has already built an image to Docker daemon. So let's go ahead and open. We see we have Facebook version 1. So this Facebook version 1 is this one here, and it has been built inside our Docker daemon, which is over here. So we have it over here. Okay, so that's it. So the next thing I need to show you is let's move on to the target folder. So you see our target folder has been created over here. We also have this jar file that has been created over here. Okay, so jar. So what we need to do is, so we have this version over here. Okay, so for us to be able to push this into Docker Hub over here, okay, what we need to do is go back to your documentation, and I want you to build your image. Okay, so let's use this command here, build your container image with this one here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna copy this, and I'm gonna go back again to my terminal, and what I'm gonna do is that I will just copy and paste this one, and then click on enter. So this one is gonna send our application to again, it's gonna create a jar file, as you can see. Okay, then it's gonna send our application to Docker Hub. Okay, so this is our Docker Hub over here. So it's gonna send our application. This is I created actually a Docker Hub 31 minutes ago, and it's deleting because I was deleting it here. Okay, so I pushed about 31 minutes ago, and I'm deleting the previous one. Okay, so let's go and see if that's what's happening. So build successfully, and the build and pushed to image. Okay, so it has already been built here and pushed to image as Thailand 123 Facebook 1, this one over here. So let's go to our Docker, and then I'm gonna refresh, and there you go, there you go, this is it over here. So a few seconds ago it has been pushed to Docker Hub. So if I open this and come here, you can see that this is the version is version 1. Okay, the OS is operating system, which is Linux over here. Okay, so guys, if you also want to pull the Docker from, I mean the image from Docker Hub, you can say Docker push Thailand, the name, and then the version. Okay, yeah. So guys, that's it. Thank you so much. If you like this video, please leave a like and also subscribe for more videos. See you later.